welcome back to the Spider's Web, and yes, it's another unboxing video for the Kickstarter campaign of the Order of the Vampire Hunters. This one is another big box expansion, and it's called The Night is Darker. The night is darker than what? Okay, here we are with another expansion for the Order of Vampire Hunters. This is The Night is Darker. It's again a game by Filippo Chirico. And let's turn over the box, and it says The Night is Darker adds everything you need to make the Order of Vampire Hunters a 5 or 6 player game. There are 2 new hunters, more vampire miniatures including the new Desmodus minions, and cards for spawning extra vampires each turn. These components and rules allow you to play an existing hunt as a 5 or 6 player game. This expansion includes a new 6 hunter campaign that can be played with any size group from 1 to 6 players, and the new miniatures can also be used in any of the existing hunts. Good hunting. So we have 18 hammer detailed plastic miniatures, 2 double-sided map tiles, 2 hunter ID cards, 2 basic weapon cards, 1 vampire ID card, 68 tokens, 24 cards, 1 rulebook, 6 new hunts, and more, it says. I don't know what the more is, but I'm looking forward to finding out. This is, as it says on the box at the bottom, again a game for 1 to 4, ages 14 plus, and it takes an hour to play, but according to this, it just allows you to expand the 1 to 4 to 1 to 6. But let us turn over, open the box, and see the goodness. Okay, so The Night is Darker, the Order of Vampire Hunters. Nice. So again, we have the 19-page rulebook, Hunt 24, from Hunt 19. That's the first one in this. So the new characters are the hunters, Benny and Sebastian. You can see those. That's Sebastian, that's Benny, and then we had Desmodus, don't know how it's pronounced, and we have 1, 2, 3 pages of rules. If you're doing a campaign, 19, then 20, and then either 21 or 22. If you do 21, you still have to do 22, then 23 and 24. Hunt 21 is optional, it says. So there we are. That's the rulebook and scenario book. We have 2 more of the character ID cards, exactly the same as the original ones. 1 double-sided tile set in a hospital, and another double-sided tile, again set in a hospital or some form of research facility. Then we have more tokens. That was exactly the same as the one in the original set. Desmodus token then. Way up. Now just got one. Can't be doing that. Can't be doing that. When we turn the ladders over, we get this. So they are the tiles. They are the tiles, they are the tokens. What do we have, however, in the pizza box of awesome? What a way of working it, terming it. The pizza box of awesome. In here we have more minis and more cards. I'm going to leave that one there because I've always seen that mini. That's strategically well placed, even though it should be in there and it has been knocked out. It's worked well. so you can't see that one. Let's get down to the table and have a proper look at these minis. Okay, here we go. So this is where we look at the cards and the minis. Yeah, it's typical. I thought there was going to be a nice mini behind there, but what it was in fact was the other hero. So I'll move them, and I will shift these out of the way, and we can have a look at the cards. So the small cards first off. Let's get into these. And we have encounter cards, we have activation night cards, compulsion cards and activation day cards. So let's have a look at the activation day cards first. Let's tilt the camera down a touch, move things out of the way, zoom in. There we go. So here's the activation day cards. There we go. Next, activation night. And there we go. I don't know why I was looking at the back then. Finally, let's have a look at the compulsion card. In fact, not finally. Let's have a look at the compulsion cards. There we are. Those are two of those. And finally, the encounter cards. Now, I was, as I say, thinking that there was a big mini underneath the cards. I was thinking Desmodus was the main boss. It's not. It's a form of vampire, and I'll show you the mini in a moment. That's what's slightly threw me. I didn't read, or I didn't take in what I was reading when I was telling you what was in the deck. So they're the small cards. Now let's have a look at the big cards. Yeah, so I wasn't taking much notice. I wasn't taking in what I was saying when I was reading the contents of the deck, and it said they had Desmodus minions, not a Desmodus miniature. So here we are. This is Sebastian's card. That's what one side looks like, and that's what it looks like when he's been turned. And now Benny's card. And there's Benny. Can't be Benny, he's not got a little woolly hat on. Not saying anything further, if you know what I'm talking about there. And that's his vampire card. And that is Sebastian. I wonder if it's based on the Hitman video game. Looks very similar, does he not? There we are. That's his turned card. And then we have Desmodus. So I think that is the daytime phase, and that is the nighttime phase. I've twigged to this looking at the activation cards for day and night. The activation cards for night are blue, and the activation cards for day are like a greeny yellow. There's nothing on this, which means he's asleep during the day. And I think he would probably only attack if he was disturbed. I don't know. We'll have to look at the rules properly for this. But that's what I'm surmising. But there we are. They are the cards. Now we want to look at the minis. Some of these minis you've seen before. They are the same ones that's in the original, that was in the core game. Let's have a look at the minis first, or the Hero minis first. Hunter minis. We have Benny, like an old-time gangster chap. There we are. With a little bit of armour. And then we have Sebastian. Oh, Sebastian, wasn't it? Yeah. There we go. Next we have these two minis, which you saw in the core game. There we go. And then another couple of minis you saw in the core game were these two. There we go. And again, we have minis that were in the core game with these two. And this pair were from the core game, and so were the next pair. So again, you've seen these before. You just get 2 extra of these minis. There's 2, and then we have the 2 women vampires. There we go. You remember those? These are the very first vampire minis we looked at in the second video. There we go. And now we go to the Desmodus minis. There are 6 of these Desmodus minis. They are interesting to see, because he looks as though he just got out the bath and has wrapped himself in a towel. What is doesn't he? I know he's actually folding his wings around himself, but excuse me. I know he's folding his wings around himself, but it looks as though he's just got out the bath and has wrapped himself around in a towel. But we have 1, 2, it's a solid chunk of plastic, 3, 4, 'Make sure that they're on there so you can see that they are different ones. Oh yeah. And finally 6. So that's it for this video. From the Desmodus, well, from Desmodius and Desmodius, and we're not going through that again. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Until next time, as always, take care, God bless, and bye for now.